Thanks for staying with us. Still reviewing Punch. Yes, Mariam?
Yeah, major headlines. So, PDP presidential candidate and the governor of Rivers State and his team met in London for their meeting. And what they were talking about, of course, is the 2023 general elections. And the report from there is that the Atiku is pleading with Governor Wike to support him, and that there were some there were a few things that were listed that has to be done, first of all, for Wike to support Atiku. And the spokesperson says that Atiku has accepted, and he will also sign an undertaking for doing that. Although they mentioned that one of the things that they had mentioned earlier for Atiku to do was to run for, to just run for a one-year term, but he disagreed with that particular one. And I know that they are constantly asking for the chairman of the party to resign, so that someone from, from the region would come in. So I don't know this one that they said that he has agreed to go with. Yes.
Well, I know that Baba is part of the meeting.
Now,
they invited Baba to the meeting.
Okay. Yeah, so Obasanjo, Obasanjo was at the meeting. He met Tinubu's, he met Obi's people, and he's trying to he's trying to encourage a partnership. He believes that Obi is competent and he can, and also wants someone from the southeast. He met with Wike's side as well. But the Wike side are saying that, yes, this is what Obasanjo wants, but they believe that, but they would rather align with the Tinubu camp. Wike has met with him. That one also has been confirmed by the former placeholder, that he has met with him, and they're trying to see how they can work together towards the election. But, and that Wike, what his camp says, the Wike camp say that they believe that Tinubu could win, and they would like to align themselves with a winning candidate instead of a losing
This election
candidate.
looks very expensive already.
The fact that they're even meeting in London is what worries me.
The fact that
the meeting cannot happen in our soil.
Yeah,
It's from
no,
London.
that one now.
I've said my own.
Anyway, the meeting can be anywhere.
ASU has rejected the 10,000 naira by NAP tap.
Not them
tap.
now.
No, the ASU president, Professor Emmanuel Osedeke, reacted to that proposed levy.
Yeah.
He said that instead of that money, please go and put pressure, join ASU to put pressure on the federal government to do what is right. Don't, start another levy. So they are totally rejecting it and saying they should do the right thing.
Okay, so I was just going to add to the traffic story yesterday. I mean, we talked about it a bit during the break. But the travelers have lamented the traffic on the Magbo road to Alausa section of the road. And this is because there was the diversion is ongoing because of the road construction. So initially it was collapsed to 2 lanes. But now, yesterday, was collapsed to 1 lane. So yesterday was hellish for many people on the road. The situation was really, really bad because many motorists were complaining that they couldn't get through because everybody, in fact, there was a time that the truck was pushed over because there was a breakdown. So they had to get somebody to tow the truck away. So all roads were now had to go through just 1 lane. It was really, really crazy yesterday. It's important for us to know that they are working on the road. These delays would happen for now. If you don't have to be on the road, please don't be on the road. Just stay back.
There's no other alternative. If you're trying to come from Magoro to into Lagos, there's no alternative.
Yes.
That's the
and if you're going back home, if you're working on the island, you're going back home, Magoro,
there's no other way.
So you have to go through that. It's really, really sad. Okay, let's move on to the next paper. Daily Sun. Suspense increases as Wike will be meet Obasanjo in London. 2023, Tinubu targets 4 PDP governors, senators, reps, and others. On Obasanjo report, White Paper Committee submits report recommendations dialogue with National Assembly. NDDC Niger Delta stakeholders warn against move to appoint another sole administrator. FG must pay striking lecturers, says NLC. Oba of Benin warns against attempt to divert Benin artifacts. And court lashes Ebonyi local government election. Okay.
So the NDDC challenge has been ongoing for a while. I've been following the story where they haven't had a proper constituted board as well as someone in charge apart from a sole administrator. And now it looks like that might be the case again. So under the stakeholders, under the auspices of Niger Delta Movement for Development, have raised the issue that it seems, this is according to someone, Mr. Yanga, he said it's utter wickedness that we want to believe some selfish individuals are bent on totally damaging the image of President Muhammadu Buhari, and they are benefiting from the status quo of having no people not in charge of the NDDC. And they are lamenting the result has come out because before the complaint was that they are waiting forensic audits of the NDDC. It's been out for a while now, and yet nothing has been done. And so the group is speaking that the last interim administration for the commission should be the last, and a proper management should be put in place, and the change should be implemented immediately.
Okay, as part of the government's effort to restructure the civil service, they've received the Oronsoye report from the committee. And the SGF received it yesterday, and he's going to be moved forward to FEC for approval and implementation. So that's a good thing, because I think the federal government does agree that the civil service is overbloated, and it cost the governance is really high, and they need that reviewed. And so the recommendations from this report, hopefully, we should reduce the cost of governance, reduce the inflated civil service, and make them more effective, and to attract the best. According
they
to
do that before the elections or after the elections?
According to let me finish my report. According to the report, the president himself had said that civil service must attract the best hands, not the worst, not the dumping ground. So with this report, there should be a review on that. We don't know, but listen, let them just get the job done. I mean, we saw this one before or after elections. Let's move on to Vanguard.
Time is of the essence.
Let's find a story we have not taken. How to revive Nigeria's steel industry, says Naseni. Military kills Sambisa Forest ISOP commander Uzaifa, 37 others. FG defends foreign borrowings with infrastructure projects. Gunmen kill police inspector in Lagos. Vanguard MSC Summit. FG hops on partnership for competitiveness. 2023 campaign on issues. Sean hate speech. Jonathan Sambo task candidates and parties. Okay, who has Jonathan's advice?
Okay, I do. So at the 2022 IBB Legacy Dialogue in Abuja yesterday, the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, his vice president, Namadi Sambo, were there, as well as many, many other dignitaries, politicians, ministers, ambassadors. Everybody was there. And, everybody had a chance to talk. And it's just really to tell us that campaigns going forward should really be issue-based and not about personalities, and that we should urge politicians to be mindful of our unity, stability, exercise discipline in their campaigns and other political activities. They also say that we are aware of how, shaky it is right now with our unity. So the way that politicians are carrying themselves during this time they should be very careful how they do that, because it's Nigeria's democracy is as strategic as stability in Africa's democratic journey. So just really like we're the big brother in Africa, and our growth or our progress or our decline would affect Africa as a whole. There's so many other stakeholders who spoke, but basically it's just to say, concentrate on issue-based politics and not ethnicity or personalities.
You tell that to the followers too, because the followers are right now. The followers, all the followers of all the various parties are just going on this emotional trail.
Yeah.
Nobody's discussing the issues. Nobody's talking about competence, track record, experience. What have you done? What have you not done? They don't care. It's the emotion. Oh, is it Muslim? Is it pagan? Is it Buddha?
Is it how someone is dressed?
How he's dressed? What he not wear? That's the emotional train Nigerians are going on. It's important that we remind ourselves of the real issues.
Let me take the good story about COVID-19 locally made vaccines. The good news is that the testing will start by November. So a cluster group, got funding from the TET fund, supported them with 450 million naira, a total of 1.225 billion had gone into 4 cluster research, but TET fund supported this research that had a group of 5 research institutions coming together to produce vaccines, not just for COVID. COVID is one. They also produce, the vaccine will also cover Lassa fever and other such kind of diseases that might emerge. And the goal is many countries where they are producing these vaccines, the people that are producing the vaccines, those private organizations, are Nigerians. And so why can't we produce it by ourselves here? And now that we've got to the funding, by November, trial will start. And I'm really excited about this news that they got the fund and we're seeing the results. We cannot wait to see when we start producing, especially for Lassa that is still killing people within our...
So TED Fund, remember?
Yes, TED Fund, yeah, TED Fund sponsored.
Any other stories?
I wanted to take the federal government spending on roads. So the Minister for Works was speaking at the National Council of Works meeting in Kano at the opening, and he was defending some of the borrowings that they have had to do. He said that this infrastructure should show for this administration's borrowing. He says that they've constructed over 1,800 kilometers of roads across the 6 geopolitical zones within the country. And Kano State Governor was in attendance at that event. He also thanked them and mentioned the roads that his state has benefited under the federal government's constructions in that state as well.